Our top story at this hour, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has leveled fresh allegations against Russia. This as he called on allies to warn the country against blowing up a dam in Ukraine's south, which could lead to large-scale disaster. He told the European leaders that Russian terrorists had mined the dam, which if blown would have repercussions that would affect southern Ukraine. Here now is a report.
Ukraine's president has accused Russia of plotting to blow up a dam at a hydroelectric plant in the south of the country currently under Russian occupation. In a television address, Volodymyr Zelensky called on the West to warn Russia against the move, saying it would lead to large-scale disaster and flood southern Ukraine.
Now we must all together, all Europeans, all world leaders, all international organizations, make it clear to the terrorist state that such a terrorist attack at Kharkivka will mean exactly the same as the use of weapons of mass destruction.
The volume of water in the reservoir is about equal to the Great Salt Lake in the US state of Utah. Damage to the Kakhovka Dam on the Dnipro River would result in the rapid and devastating flooding of the city of Kherson, in addition to wrecking the system of canals that irrigate southern Ukraine, including Crimea, which Moscow seized in 2014. Zelensky claims Russia plans to blow up the dam to cover up their retreat. Earlier this week, Russia accused Ukraine of plotting to rocket the dam. Neither side has produced evidence to back up allegations. Ukraine's energy minister Herman Halushenko told Reuters that Russia had hit at least half the country's thermal generation capacity and had carried out more than 300 airstrikes on Ukrainian energy facilities since October 10th. He added that 30 to 40% of overall national power infrastructure had been hit. It comes as one of the most important battles of the 8-month war comes to a head near the dam. Ukrainian forces are currently advancing along the river's west bank, with the aim of recapturing the city of Kherson and encircle thousands of Russian troops. Russia has begun what it says is the evacuation of tens of thousands of civilians from the city. Ukraine has imposed an information blackout from the Kherson front. Earlier this week, Sergei Surovikin, the commander of Russian forces in Ukraine, said the situation in Kherson was already difficult and Russia was not ruling out difficult decisions there.
Oleksiy Melnik, the co-director of Foreign Relations and International Security Programs at the Razumkov Center, is now joining us live from Kyiv. Oleksiy, welcome to the program. Give us a sense of how severe the repercussions would be if Russia ignores Ukraine's plea and attacks this dam.
Good morning and thank you for the invitation. The consequences will be severe. There will be immediate consequences, like President Zelensky has warned. There is an imminent threat for thousands of people around the Dnipro River, including Kherson city, which is one of the biggest cities in Ukraine. But also there will be long-time consequences because, again, as was mentioned, there would be damage for years and years for agriculture, for households that are located around the Kakhovka Dam.
Oleksiy, Russia has declared its intention to increase its targeting of Ukraine's power, water and other vital infrastructure. Even though President Zelensky is putting on a brave face, do you think Ukraine is well prepared for such ramifications or aftermath of such attacks?
This morning I was wake up by sirens. And it's been already 3 hours of intensive attacks all around Ukraine. And as was mentioned, 30% of Ukrainian energy production and transport infrastructure has been damaged already. And this morning, again, dozens of strikes, but we should say, and we always repeat, it is not going to help Russia. Well, we will suffer and we stay like hours without electricity. There are no running water in big cities. But at the end of the day, these terrorist tactics will not help Russia. And this is kind of, very strange when we are talking like about Islamic State, which is a terrorist organization. And now we have a state which is a permanent member of the Security Council, and they applying the same terrorist tactics, but on a much bigger scale. And the Novokakhovka Dam is threat, and the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant. This is something like an enormous scale of terrorism on a global level.
Oleksiy, finally, Ukraine has started a campaign to conserve energy. This has led to blackouts, including in the capital, Kyiv. Do you think this campaign is doing more harm than good?
Definitely, it's doing both. It's doing harm for Ukrainians, but so far I should admit that I'm very pleased with the performance and the ability of Ukrainian emergency services to fix all the damages, because at the end of the day we have blackouts, but we still have electricity, at least for the majority of the day, and they managed to quickly repair these damages. But of course, our resources are not unlimited. But on the other hand, I think Russia helps the war, Ukraine a lot by providing these very powerful messages to the world that this is something that needs to be stopped. And everyone who is talking about helping Putin to save his face is wrong at the end of the day.
I've been talking to Oleksiy Melnik, the co-director of Foreign Relations and International Security Programs at the Razumkov Center. Oleksiy, thank you very much for giving us time today.
Thank you for having me.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.